Imagine planning your dream wedding, the flowers, the vows, the cake, only to find out one of your guests is openly trying to steal your fiancé. Now, what would you do? Well, in this story, a bride to be spotted the warning signs. And instead of a screaming match or a public scene, she served up one of the pettiest, sweetest, most satisfying acts of revenge I've ever heard. So, meet our storyteller. She's in her early 30s, about to marry the love of her life. And when I say love of her life, I don't mean that lightly. This man isn't just kind, loyal, and funny. He's the kind of partner who bakes cookies for her when she's sad, brushes her hair to comfort her, and never stops talking about how much he adores her. But he's also a little socially awkward, probably somewhere on the autism spectrum, which means when it comes to picking up hints, subtle cues, or flirtation, let's just say he's about as oblivious as they come. And that's where the trouble starts. Because in his small circle of coworkers, his closest group of friends after moving across the country, there's one woman who can't seem to stop throwing herself at him. Let's call her Daisy. Daisy, late 30s. At first glance, just another work friend. But when our storyteller shows up at a few group hangouts, Daisy is practically glowing whenever the fiancé walks into the room. We're talking hair twirling, constant giggle arrangements for guests with gluten intolerance, cupcakes from the best boutique bakery in the province. Only two flavor options, chocolate and caramel. The bride carefully checks with each guest what they'd prefer. Every single person chooses chocolate, except Daisy. Daisy insists she doesn't like chocolate and wants caramel. Not a huge deal, right? But just wait. A few days later, the bride gets word that Daisy is planning to show up to the wedding, wearing white. And not just Daisy. Her plus one is planning to wear beige. Beige! At someone else's wedding. Now, you don't have to be a wedding expert to know that's basically the cardinal sin of wedding etiquette. It's disrespectful, attention seeking, and basically screaming, I want to upstage the bride. So the bride immediately tells her fiancé. And for the first time in this story, he's not oblivious at all. His response? What a feeing asshat. He shuts it down instantly, texting Daisy that if she or her plus one show up in white, beige, ivory, light gray, or even some weird off-white pastel, they will not be let in. Period. Daisy pouts, complains, claims she only wanted to wear a white blouse with peach pants. But the fiancé holds firm. No white, no exceptions. At this point, he even considers uninviting her altogether. But our bride, ever the peacemaker, suggests keeping the peace. After all, it's only one guest. And if Daisy really tries something, the bride's friends are more than ready to accidentally shower her in red wine. Crisis averted, or so it seems. With that drama handled, the bride turns back to finishing the cupcake order. 35 guests, a mix of regular cake and gluten-free cupcakes. And as she fills in the final details, she pauses. She looks at the list. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Oh, right. Daisy wanted caramel. And suddenly, a wicked little thought crosses her mind. She smirks. What if she just didn't order it? What if Daisy, the woman who tried to steal her fiancé, the woman who wanted to wear white to her wedding, showed up expecting a special caramel cupcake and instead was handed the exact opposite of what she asked for? Nothing catastrophic. Nothing dramatic. Just a small, perfect little sting of disappointment. And so, with a smile on her face, she clicks Confirm Order and orders every single cupcake and chocolate. The big day arrives. The bride looks radiant. The ceremony is beautiful. The fiancé, now husband, can't take his eyes off her. Friends and family beam with love. And then there's Daisy. Oh, Daisy showed up. Not in white. Thankfully, the gatekeeper did their job, but sulking, dragging her plus one along and doing her best to look like she belongs. Throughout the evening, she tries. She laughs too loudly at the groom's jokes. She hovers just a little too close. She eyes the bride with that fake sugary smile. But the bride doesn't let it get to her. Why? Because she knows what's coming. Finally, dessert time. The cake is cut. The cupcakes are brought out. The gluten-free guests each get their special little treat. And Daisy? She reaches for hers, unwraps it, takes a bite, and instantly her face falls. Chocolate. Rich, velvety, melt in your mouth chocolate. The flavor she said she hated. The one she specifically asked not to have. Now, here's the thing. Everyone else is happily devouring their cupcakes, complimenting how delicious they are, talking about how they might even be the best cupcakes they've ever had. Which means Daisy can't exactly make a scene. She can't complain without looking ungrateful. She can't pout without standing out. So she's stuck, sitting there, watching everyone else enjoy themselves while she forces down bites of the one flavor she didn't want. And the bride? She just sits back, smiling, knowing that sometimes the sweetest revenge is chocolate flavored.